What's up, guys? Jesse Brown Challenge, and I'll be doing a review for Monday Night Raw. So let's get to it then. I know it's gonna be a late upload video because I was watching other shows after Raw. So yeah, anyways, let's get to it then. Then out forever together. Raw kicks out with Braun Breaker entering the arena along with Jey Uso, making his way through the parking lot. Jim McIntyre enters. Excuse me. Through the case, and Dominic Mysterio and sorry guys, I'm a cough. And Liv Morgan pull up in a lowrider, and as they walk into the arena, we see Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman fly by them and crash through a table. Dom and Liv watch this happen and make their way to the ring. Yeah, that came out of nowhere. Damn. Dom and Liv can noodle whatever on the way to the ring, and Dom carries her around the ring. They take turns holding open the ropes for each other. And Liv gets on the mic. Liv says she knows they don't know what they just did, but they just did a victory lap, as it's what winners do. She says her revenge tour is going how it's planned, and there is no question who runs Raw. She plays a clip from last week where they beat up the Terror Twins. She promised to take everything from Rhea Ripley, and that's what she did. The championship, Judgment Day, and Dominic Mysterio are all ears. She says in 2 weeks she will take more, and Rhea Ripley's music hits. Ripley tells Morgan to shut up and says she's not going to hit Morgan tonight, and crowd chants "Mommy," and it's pissing Morgan off. Ripley says she's had something to tell Morgan, and she tells Dom to get out of her face before she makes him get out of her face. Morgan brings up how much she cares about Priest, and if she cared that much for Dom, he would have stayed with her. Liv says she will beat Ripley because she is smarter than Ripley. Ripley says she's fully clear for Bad Blood, and she has message for for both Dom and Liv. She tells Dom since he likes to stick his nose in her business for the belt, Adam Pearce has decided that Dom Mysterio will be behind bars for the match. Dom will be hanging in a shark cage for their match at Bad Blood. Ripley tells Morgan at Bad Blood she will win back the one thing she never lost, which is her women's world championship. Ripley tells Morgan that she takes back what she said before and headbutts Morgan and leaves the ring. We are taken back to last week to the drama between Sami Zayn / Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther, and then we get our first match. Oh my god, the scrolling thing. Alright, first match. Sami Zayn versus Ludwig Kaiser. Zayn is out first, followed by Kaiser and the men trash talk in the ring before the bell rings. The bell rings and Zayn throws his hoodie at Kaiser, who kicks it out of the ring, and the men go after each other with slaps. They lock up and end up in the corner, and Kaiser starts with punches, and Zayn fights back and stumps Kaiser in the corner, who rolls out outside the ring. Kaiser slams Zayn's head against the ring post and continues to smack around on the ground before throwing him into the steel steps and throwing him back in the ring. Kaiser kicks Zayn and covers for two. Zayn is thrown into the ring post and gets hung up, and Kaiser comes from across the ring and basement drop kicks Zayn. Kaiser gets caught with a big boot, and Zayn hits a double axe handle from the second rope and sends Kaiser outside the ring. Zayn joins him outside the ring and chops him. Kaiser Irish whips Zayn outside the ring into the barricade, but Zayn gets on top of the barricade and Kaiser pushes him onto a chair in the timekeeper's area, and we go to commercial. All right, back in the ring. Kaiser says Zayn in the has Zayn in the corner. Zayn gets popped up on the turnbuckle, and Kaiser slaps his chest and climbs the ropes and attempts a suplex from the top. Zayn fights back and sunset flips off the rope and slams Kaiser down and covers for a 2 count. Zayn nails an exploder into the ropes, and Kaiser rolls out of the ring, and Zayn follows him. Kaiser hammers on Zayn and slams his head onto the steps and climbs into the ring to break the count, and gets to the other side and runs around the ring and basement drop kicks Zayn's head into the steps. Kaiser gets back into the ring, poses while Zayn counts the stars around his head. Zayn makes it into the ring before the 10 count, and Zayn mounts him and punches him and slams his head into Kevin. Zayn comes back and punches and clotheslines Kaiser to the mat. Zayn attempts a backdrop, but Kaiser holds the ropes and rope scratches Zayn's eyes and attempts a roll up using the rope. The Rev catches it, and Kaiser argues with the Rev, and Zayn hits an exploder in the corner and comes running at Kaiser, who kicks Zayn in the face and covers for two. Kaiser storms around the ring and sets up Zayn for a neck breaker, who reverses it into a German suplex. Zayn hits a Luba kick for the win. So winner is Sami Zayn. Alright, after the match, Gunther makes his way out and gets on the mic outside of the ring. He says for weeks Zayn has wanted a match with him, and he's seen enough. It gets on the apron. He says tonight is the night where he will say no. He laughs at Zayn and walks away as Zayn calls him to get in the ring for a match. Alright, we see clips from last week with the Judgment Day and New Day and their fallout with the LWO and between themselves. As Sarah was backstage and Kofi Kingston walks up to him. Woods apologizes for getting upset last week. Kofi says it's water under the bridge and brings Woods trombone and their cereal. Woods says they need to be serious on their on as they're on the losing streak. Kingston says he will allow Woods to call the shots. American Made comes by and laughs at them and calls them as has-beens. New Day challenges the Creed Brothers to a match. An official comes by with pancakes and Kofi tells him to scram before Woods sees it and go to commercial. Yeah, Kofi Kingston went like this. When the guy with the pancake shows up, he was like this. And the guy was like, yeah, and walks away. The fans were laughing in the background. It was funny. All right, we get a veil patch for Jey Uso and his road to the IC title match he has tonight. Backstage, Dom and Liv talk to Pierce about the Shark Cage match. Pierce lays down the law and says his decision is final. Carlito and JD come back and Liv tells them the Judgment Day has to win, so people know not to mess with them. They bump into Ilya Dragunov. JD and Ilya talk trash to each other, and Dragunov says JD will do nothing. Our second match coming up is Dragon Lee with LWO, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, and Zelina Vega versus Carlito with the Judgment Day, JD McDonough, and Dominic Mysterio. Dragon Lee is out first with his entourage, and Carlito follows suit with his cronies. The bell rings, and Lee hits Carlito in with a dropkick, sending him outside, and hits a suicide dive on Carlito. Lee continues with kicks to Carlito, but is met by a clothesline by Carlito. Carlito beats Lee on the ground, and Lee is able to get Carlito down with the head scissor. Carlito is getting abused in the corner, and Lee gets him in the center of the ring, and JD distracts Lee outside the Judgment Day. Take out Del Toro, and Rey Mysterio comes out of nowhere and takes out Judgment Day in the ring. Lee hits with a tornado backdrop for the win. So winner is Dragon Lee. Alright. Backstage, The Miz is warming up, and Karrion Kross comes by to check on him and says he hates that no one respects him anymore. Miz says he has a match against a monster, and Kross reminds him monsters come in all sizes. Miz agrees and leaves, and Kross stays back and smirks. We come back from commercial and head backstage with Kathy Kelly and Sheamus. She asks if he's done with Pete Dunne, and Sheamus says everyone says call him Butch, and after what he did, he has to score to settle with Dunne, and there's nothing more dangerous than an Irishman who has a score to settle. Alright, next match, The Miz vs. Bronson Reed. Okay, Terry Trilo, this was supposed to be a match. Miz is out first, and Bronson Reed comes out looking like his battle with Braun Strowman earlier had no effect on him. As Reed approaches the ring, Strowman attacks him. Strowman chokeslams Reed on the apron. Miz goes to Strowman, and while they argue, Reed hits a suicide dive, and officials run in the ring. Reed gets on the top rope, and the officials climb the rope, and Reed throws them down and tsunamis them, while Strowman chokeslams the others. Now Reed and Strowman are face to face, and more officials come in. Reed and Strowman clear the ring and double close on each other. Reed rolls out of the ring and fights off the officials while in the ring. The officials crowd around Strowman. Strowman makes quick work of the officials, and meets Reed on the top rope, who was ready to tsunami everyone. They punch each other on the top rope, and more officials come in. Strowman drop kicks Reed and starts slamming all the officials, while other officials hold off Reed outside. Strowman gets on the top rope, and Reed backs off before Strowman can come off the top rope on him to the outside. They stare each other down, and we go to commercial. So no contest. So there was no match. All right. Back, we come back from commercial break. And Drew McIntyre makes his way down to the ring. McIntyre gets in the ring and promises to make Punk bleed. He says he promises that Punk will have to kill him. He says this will be the end for one of them because Punk meant every word last week. He says he's ready to sacrifice his all for this to end. He says he usually keeps personal stuff to himself, but he'll put it out there. He doesn't want to be inside Hell in a Cell, as he has in the past. Punk's wife and sisters begged him not to do his match, and his family has begged him not to as well. As this has begun too far, he says his wife has asked him to stay away from Punk, as she sees what this is doing to him mentally. The crowd erupts in a CM Punk chant. McIntyre says this match will happen, and he promises he'll make Punk bleed a lot, and he will make Punk suffer and feel pain he's never felt. He says this is good versus evil. And Punk compares himself to the devil, but Punk is just a man McIntyre has broken in the past, and McIntyre says he will break Punk permanently. Jackie Redmond is backstage with Adam Pearce. They discuss Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. Pearce says next week they will have a last monster standing match behind them. Pete Dunne is choking out Sheamus with a cricket bat. Pearce breaks it up and calls for medical for Sheamus. After a short break, we come back to Raw and head to our next match. Before the match, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair approach Damage Control, and they give Damage Control props. And Damage Control says they're coming for the titles. Belair says their titles will not go anywhere, regardless of who wins. Our next match coming up is the Unholy Union. Is Dawn and Alba Fire versus Damage Control, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. Unholy Union is out first, and Damage Control comes out next after being confronted by Cargill and Belair. Dawn and Sky start the match, and they lock up, but Dawn hits Sky with a knee and gets her on her against the ropes. Dawn punches Sky, and Sky comes back with some blows to Dawn's face and tags in Sane. They double team Dawn, and Fire comes in, and Sane hits her with the head scissor. Sane splashes into Dawn and then comes off the top rope with the right hand for a 2 count cover. Dawn punches Sane, and Zane comes back with a splash into the corner, and Fire comes in and distracts Zane. Sky checks on Zane, and Fire comes through the ropes and splashes onto Sky. We get a commercial break. Alright, back from break. Dawn and Fire are doubling teaming Zane in their corner. Dawn flies onto Zane with a double knee for a 2 count. Dawn now chokes Zane on the ropes, and Fire does the same while Dawn distracts the ref. Fire is now tagged in, and Zane crawls to get it tagged, but Fire intercepts. Zane tries again, but Dawn tries to interfere, but Zane avoids it and is able to tag out. Sky makes quick work of Holy Union and hits a springboard drop kick on both Meteora to Fire in the corner for a 2 count. And Sky sets up for a underhook and powerbomb, but Fire gets out of it, but plants Sky with a kick. Sky rolls up Fire for a 2 count, and Dawn smokes Sky in the face, and Fire covers for a 2 count. Dawn is now tagged in and attempts a backstabber. Zane takes out Fire, who tries to interfere. Zane hits an insane elbow to Fire outside, and Sky moonsaults onto Fire for the win. So winner is Damage Control. Alright, Barrett and Testator takes us back to last week, so we can catch up on the Uso and Breaker stuff in case we forgot from an hour ago. Alright, Kathy Kelly is backstage with Braun Breaker. Breaker says today is game day, which means there will be a winner and a loser. After tonight, it's not going to be Jey Uso, and someone is going to get their ass kicked, and won't be him. He says he'll be champion for a long time. We come back from commercial to Joe Tessor and Wade Barrett discussing Brian Rhodes / Reigns issues. They take us to Georgia Tech and Atlanta, where Rhodes and Reigns met last week. Backstage, Jey Uso is warming up, and Sami Zayn comes up to him and tells him to make that IC title his tonight. Alright, next match is the New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods versus American Made, Julius and Bruce Creed with Ivy Nile and Chad Gable. The New Day waits in the ring for American Made, and the latter make their way to the ring. The Quartet gets in the ring, and Gable mounts off the New Day, and the crowd, Julius and Woods start the match with some grappling and headlocks. Julius takes down Woods with a shoulder check, and they lock up again. Julius punches Woods, and Woods comes back with chops, and they go back and forth with punches. Julius gets Woods on his shoulders, and Woods counters out of it and connects with a punch. Kingston tags in, and he splashes onto Julius for a 2 count. Kingston works on Julius' arm, and Brutus is tagged in, and the Creed Brothers double team Kingston and cover for a 1 count. Brutus puts Kingston in a wrestling rolling log and takes him down with a body check. Kingston jumps over Brutus and hits a backhand elbow for a 2 count. Woods is tagged in, and they double team Brutus, and Woods covers for 2 and hits a flying punch after the count. Kingston is tagged in, and they double team on Brutus some more. Woods is now tagged in, and they continue to double team Brutus in the corner. Woods chops the hell out of Brutus, but he counters and returns the favor. Woods walks through the chops and starts chopping Brutus, and Woods gets Brutus in the corner for 10 punches, and Julius and punches for 10 punches, and Julius comes in, and Woods gets at him. Kingston tries to equalize Julius, but he gets the better of Kofi and suplexes him off the top rope, while Woods suplexes Brutus off the other ring post, and we go to commercial. Ooh, it's a long reading. We come back to the show. Woods and Brutus are going at it, and Woods is trying to tag out, but Brutus has him held back. Woods hits a clothesline, and both men are laid out. Julius tries to interfere, and Woods sends him outside the Gable, distracts the ref as Woods tags out, but the ref didn't see it and sends Kofi back, and Gable beats on Woods while the ref has his back turned. The Creed brothers now double team Woods in the corner, and Bruce, when Woods trades shots, Bruce takes down Woods with a big right hand and then punches out Woods in the corner and props him up on the top rope. Bruce gets on the ropes too, and then men trade blows from the top rope until Bruce is knocked down with the headbutt. Woods connects with the top rope missile drop kick and crawls to tag Kingston. Both men tag out, and Kingston beats down Julius and then takes out Brutus. Julius catches Kingston, who throws Julius out of the ring, and Kingston gets on the top rope and back splashes the Creed brothers. He gets Julius back in the ring and hits a splash for a 2 count. Kingston continues to beat down Julius and misses a trouble into Paradise. Kingston kicks down Julius and tags out to Woods. Woods goes up top, but Gable interferes, and Woods flips him into the ring and gets on him and starts punching him. Julius gets up and kicks Woods in the face. Kingston tries to help, but Julius takes him down. Julius gets Woods up on his shoulders, and Brutus tags in and hits the Brutus ball for the win. So winners are American made. Alright, we give Veil Patch for Damian Priest and his battles against the Judgment Day, especially Finn Balor. We give Veil Patch for the Pure Fusion Collective, calling out the women's division and the opportunities they haven't been given to shoot or shot. Backstage, Woods and Kofi are discussing their match. Ray LWO come up and apologize for last week. Woods doesn't want the apology and tells LWO to keep their advice. Woods gets in Ray's face, and Kofi tries to de-escalate the issue, and Ray says since Woods wants to fight with him next week, they'll go one-on-one. Jey Uso is with fans in the ring and makes his way to the ring through the crowd. Uso has a crowd, and Joe Testore eating all over the place. Alright, next match, main event. Oh, come on. Damn, this stupid scrolling thing. Alright, main event coming out is Intercontinental Championship match. Braun Breaker, who is champion, versus Jey Uso. Uso waits in the ring for Breaker as we get graphics for the matches scheduled for next week. The crowd is still yeeting and directly working out their lats. The yeeting stops, and Braun Breaker makes his way. The bell and the men go to lock him in. Uso gets a headlock on Breaker, who sends Uso into the ropes and takes him down with a shoulder check. They square off, and Uso gets Breaker in a headlock and smokes Breaker with an uppercut, sending him out of the ring. Uso suicide dives onto Breaker, sending him into the announce table. Oh my god, man, I can't stand scrolling through this website. Anyways. Alright, we come back from break, and Uso is in the corner, punches out Breaker. Uso tries to take down Breaker, who slams down Uso. Uso is now in the corner, and Breaker is slamming his shoulder into him. Breaker gets Uso up and swings him into the corner. And Uso hit the mat hard after hitting the turnbuckle. Breaker throws Uso in the other turnbuckle and then gets Uso on his feet. And Uso comes at Breaker with some punches. Breaker throws Uso with the release belly-to-belly suplex and straps Uso into a submission hold. Uso fights out and punches Breaker in the gut. Breaker tries to suplex Uso, who blocks it and tries to suplex Breaker. Breaker gets Uso on the ropes and then mounts him and punches Uso. Breaker swings Uso into a turnbuckle and then hits a back breaker and goes for the pin. But Breaker breaks it and does push-ups, but by Uso. Breaker pushes Uso down, but Uso gets Breaker in the corner and gets Breaker down with a punch. Breaker is sent outside the ring and Uso goes for a suicide dive, but Breaker intercepts and punches him out. Uso is taken to the announce table and Breaker slams Uso's head against the announce table. Breaker gets on the apron and jumps off the apron onto Uso and into the announce table. Back from commercial break. Breaker has Uso in the headlock, and Uso fight out with punches, and Uso gets Breaker on the mat, and he crawls it to the corner. Uso flies into Breaker with a hip attack and covers for a 2 count. Uso gets on the top rope, and Breaker gets him on the shoulder and slams him down for a 2 count. Breaker gets Uso on his feet and goes for a gorilla press, and Uso counters into a Samoan drop and covers for 2. Uso regroups and gets on the top rope, but Breaker comes charging and stomps him. Breaker runs up the ropes and hits a top rope Frankensteiner for a 2 count. Uso and Breaker push each other and trade punches. Uso hits a super kick and Breaker comes back with a flying forearm. Breaker gorilla presses and slams Uso and covers for a 2 count. Breaker comes running at Uso outside the ring and spears him and throws him back in the ring. In the ring, Breaker runs to Uso to spear him, but Uso counters with the spear and gets up at top, and it's a splash for a 2 count. Breaker gets up first and is livid. He kicks Uso out of the ring and goes to the other end of the ring and runs to Uso to spear him and spear him again. But Uso super kicks him. Uso then spears Breaker through the barricade into the Timebreaker area. Back in the ring, Uso hits a spear and gets on the top rope and hits a splash for the win. So, you ready? So winner and new Intercontinental Champion Jey Uso. Finally, man, Jey Uso finally won something for a singles match. Finally, yeah. So that was a good match and stuff. So that was an important match right there tonight. Earlier tonight and stuff. So, anyways, good match tonight, good show and stuff, and yeah. Anyways, that was it for this video. Hope you like it. Not whatever, I don't care. But anyways, that was it, and so like, subscribe, hit that bell button, leave a comment and stuff. If you guys want to leave a comment, I don't care what you guys do, and that was it. And I see you guys in the next video. Laters.